Welcome to the sewing part of our safari shirt making tutorial, and in case you haven't seen the drafting part of this video, kindly check out for the link to the playlist in the description area below. Remember to like, share and comment on this video. Also do good by taking your time in watching ads on my videos. Please don't skip ads, because that's one of the ways you can encourage me in doing more. My name is Bolaji and this is Regi School of Fashion. These are the pieces I cut out for the construction of a safari shirt. And guys, please don't mind my voice. I have a little bit of cold and catarrh due to the weather. Thanks for your understanding. In the construction of a safari shirt, I'm going to start with the front panel. This is a front panel. I cut out two pieces for the front panel, and here is the pattern we drafted for the front panel. This is the placket allowance. This is the center front line. We have our dart and we have our side seam, the armhole, the shoulder line and the neckline. So I cut this out in two pieces. Okay, so the first step is to plot the dart, because we drafted a dart on the pattern which I have transferred on the fabric. I transferred the dart I have on my pattern just the exact way I have it on my pattern. I transferred it on my fabric. So after transferring it, then I will just hold it like so. And this has to be done on the wrong side. So if you haven't watched the drafting part of this video, kindly check the description area below for the link to the playlist. So you can see I have it pinned now. So this is how I will be stitching. I will be stitching from the hemline, then to the dart point I marked below the chest level, and I will repeat the same process on the second piece. So after picking the dart, the next step is to work on the placket, which I've ironed already. Here is my placket allowance for this side. You can see what I have on this side is different from what I have on this side. One side is going to be for the buttonholes. This is for the buttonhole, while this one is going to be for the buttons. Okay, so for the part that I will place my buttonholes, I used the whole of the 4 inches I inserted on my pattern. But for the other side, I reduced this measurement by 1.5 inches. So which means on this part I have 2.5 inches, and on this part I have 4 inches. The side I use 2.5 inches as the placket allowance is where the buttons will be attached. But for the other part that I use 4 inches as my placket allowance will be for the buttonholes. Then I added a fusible interfacing on the placket allowance, which will support this area. So after fusing, then I folded 1 inch forward like so, then half an inch inward in order to finish the edges properly. So this is the wrong side. I folded this towards the wrong side. So I will take it to my sewing machine, then I will be applying our S stitches. S stitches means sewing on the edges downward from the neckline downwards to the hemline. Then for the second piece, I fused my placket allowance, as you can see. So after fusing, then I folded this towards the right side. This is the right side of my front panel and this is the wrong side. I folded 1 inch towards the right side like so, then the remaining part towards the wrong side. So when I'm ready to stitch, I will be stitching this on the right side. So after stitching the edges, then I will be applying some decorative stitches on both the pieces, this and this. But the most important is closing the edges first, okay, after applying the decorative stitches. The decorative stitches is optional, so it is not necessary. So now I will be doing this off the camera, after which I will be back to show you the next step. So guys, now I have my darts picked on the front panels, as I said. So you can see the dart. I picked the dart on the wrong side and I have this on the right side. So after picking the darts, I gave it a good press. So after that, I folded my plackets inward, as I said, my placket allowance, so which I stitched this on the wrong side. After stitching on the wrong side, then I apply another top stitch, which is the decorative stitches I talked about. So I have this on this piece, and on the second piece I have my placket as well. So you can see my placket here, and I have my dart picked on the second piece. So after picking the dart and constructing the placket, the next step is to attach the pocket. There are different designs of safari pockets, which you can choose one for yourself. So here are the pieces I cut out for my pocket. So this is the main pocket. My pocket is going to be with a center pleat, so that is why you see it looking wide like this. After pleating, it's not going to be as wide as this. So I'm going to have a pleat at the center of the pocket, and it's going to be with flap. Flap means the cover of the pocket. So these two pieces are what I will be using in constructing the flap, and this is the main pocket. So after constructing my pocket, I will have it just like this. You can choose any shape for your pockets. If you don't want it to run like this, you can make it a perfect square or shape the edges of the pocket at the lower part. It all depends on your creativity. So after constructing my pocket, I will construct my pocket first, the pocket and the pocket flap. Then I will be placing it on this point. From the HPS point, which is the highest point shoulder here, I will measure 8 inches downward. And because I have my seam allowance on the shoulder line, I will add extra half of an inch to that, which will make it 8.5 inches. From the 8.5 inches point, that is where my pocket opening will fall. Like this. Then I will make sure the lower part of my pocket falls at the center of my dart. So after which I will attach the flap. So the flap is going to cover up the pocket like so. In case you are new to this, you don't know how to construct a safari pocket, and you want me to make a detailed video on it, kindly go to the comment section and comment safari pocket. If I can see up to 50 comments, then I'll go ahead and make a tutorial on it. So after constructing the pocket, then we are done with the sewing of the front panel. Then I will move to the back panel. Now I have my back panel in two places. This is because the safari shirt is going to be with a back yoke. So after drafting my pattern, I cut out the upper part as the yoke. So this is what I have earlier before cutting it out. So I measured the upper part, I cut it out, I added my seam allowance, and I used this to cut out another two pieces, which is going to be the completion of the back panel, and one piece is going to be for the yoke. In case you don't know how to achieve this, I have a well-detailed tutorial on that already, which is how to sew a male button-down shirt. I will link the video up in the description area below for you guys to have access to it. So I will be constructing this. I will attach the yoke together with the back panel. Then I will fix the second pocket I have on the front panel. After which I will be back to show you the next step. So guys, now I have all this done. I've attached the two pockets, as you can see. Then I attach the back yoke. So now I have two pieces for the upper part, and this is the lower part. So after attaching this, I apply a top stitch on the joining side as well.